Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. Today I'd like to talk about the concept of the divine in Louisiana Voodoo. How do practitioners of Voodoo conceive of the divine? In Voodoo they have a one unknowable God. A one unknowable God. This is called Bon Dieu, which in French means good God. Others call this one and unknowable deity by its original name, Olorun, or different forms of the name Olorun. So they have a one and unknowable God. This is sort of similar to the prime mover of Greek philosophy. How do you get an all-knowing, all-present, all-powerful, timeless, transcendent deity that has human emotions like love and anger and things like that? So in Greek philosophy they conceived of the prime mover as removed from his creation. In the same way, in Voodoo, this one unknowable, all-transcendent deity is removed from creation, is not concerned with our everyday lives, is not concerned with our everyday needs, such as money and love and happiness, things like that. So the one unknowable deity is removed from creation, being so transcendent. So they have a one God. In this sense, it could be seen as monotheistic. However, in trying to communicate with the unknowable, there are intermediary spirits. These are called Loas. Some traditions call them the Orishas. So you have a one unknowable, all-transcendent deity, and then you have intermediary spirits. The spirits are intermediaries between man and the unknowable God. They are intermediaries. The spirits are concerned with our everyday lives. Now, some practitioners of Voodoo will say these are not different gods and goddesses. There's only one God. These are just spirits that are intermediaries. Other practitioners of Voodoo will say that the Loas are expressions of Bon Dieu, that they are expressions of Olorun, that they are in a sense extensions and manifestations of the unknowable at a level at which we could come to understand. So they have a one God that is beyond our mortal comprehension. And then, in order to relate to deity, they have different Loas. The Loa, such as Papa Legba, Oshun, the spirit of love, Yamaya, the great archetypal mother, who is Lady of the Moon and of the oceans, Chongo, the spirit of thunder, the warrior. They have Olgun, the giver of technology. They have Oya, the spirit of the wind and of change. So they have these Loas. They have Baron Samadhi, Baron Samadhi, who is the deity of the dead. or Mammon Bridget. So they have a one unknowable God and intermediary spirits. Now when the African slaves were brought to the Americas and for the most part converted to the Roman Catholic religion of their slaveholders, when they came into contact with the Roman Catholic Church, they immediately noticed the similarities. They had a one unknowable God, and the Christians had a one unknowable, all-present, deity. So they began to equate the one unknowable God with the Christian God. And they noticed how the Catholics have different saints that are intermediaries between man and God. That the Catholic saints intercede before God. So that you would pray to this saint or that saint to bring prayers to the deity and pray for you, essentially. So they noticed the similarities, and there was a certain amount of synchronization in which the Christian God was applied to their deity, and that many of the Loas had masks of Christian saints. So that when they were converted to Christianity, many of them concealed their traditional ways under the guise of Christianity. Their voodoo, which is both a religion and a magical practice, when voodoo came to the States, it blended with the religious and magical practices of the peoples around them, so that Roman Catholicism was mixed in, so that the magical practices of the white people and of the Native Americans were blended in. So not all, a lot of the voodoo magic comes from the white people and from the Native Americans. So Louisiana Voodoo is a blend of African religion and spirit and magic, Roman Catholicism, Native American shamanism, and European folk magic. There are other ideas to consider, such as Ori, which means soul. It also represents the higher self, or the spark of divinity within each and every one of us. The Ori. Ashe is the life force that exists in all things, living and inanimate. It is the life force. Ashe. Ashe is also used as a greeting. It's used at the end of prayers. It's an affirmation. And you have Iwa Pele, which means good character, good works. So these are the basic ideas in the concepts of the deity in Louisiana Voodoo. Anyways, I hope this was informative for you guys, and thank you for joining me. Once again, this is Taliesin McKnight. Have a great day.